At the 2025 Tokyo Auto Salon, Japanese tuning powerhouse HKS debuted their new build dubbed the HKS. Following in the footsteps of people like Singer, companies are now starting to make complete cars from the Skyline GT-R. Nismo has its CRS program that's built by legends pumping cars out, and now it's HKS's turn. The last time they did it was with the Zero R back in the early 90s. What you see here is the first concept, the demo car if you will. We were lucky enough to be invited to the HKS headquarters to take a closer look. The first fun fact about the HKS is this is the same black demo car, the driving performer, that HKS has owned for quite a while now. The black paint remains underneath as this car is wrapped in pearl white. The first thing you notice about the HKS is that it has tuner styling and the aero looks inspired by something ending in RS. The rear wing has DRS and is matched up front by a carbon splitter, and there is also carbon side skirts as well. The wheels are Advan Racing GT Beyond in 19 by 10.5 inches and are wrapped in Yokohama Advan AO52 275/35 tyres. Inside are endless monoblock brakes, and the car uses specific HKS Hypermax R coilovers. If you look inside the car, there is HKS branded Bride Stradia 3 seats with HKS anniversary harnesses, and there's the matching rear bride seats as well. HKS steering wheel with custom HKS oil slick boss kit, which will hopefully become a production item, hint hint, and you can see the gear lever for the Getrag 6-speed manual transmission. Pop the hood and the centerpiece is the new HKS RB26 3-litre Step 3 V-Cam crate motor. This motor is interesting for a few reasons. Firstly, it has RB30 stamped on the front, but it's an RB26 block, not an RB30 block. To reach this capacity, they use a two-piece piston design that is 87mm in diameter. And thirdly, it is available as a crate motor only. You can't buy the crank, rods and pistons on their own. To increase capacity, you can bore and or stroke. The RB26 block doesn't like being bored too much due to creating thin cylinder walls, so stroker kits are popular. But there's a limit to how much stroke you can have, both due to physical space at the bottom of the cylinder wall and also by how long you can make the con rod due to how high you can put the gudgeon pin inside the piston due to where the ring grooves are. HKS have overcome this with a two-piece piston design. This allows the gudgeon pin to be higher and still have the piston rings in the optimum spot. This is not a common practice due to the complexity of the production process and also by how much power a two-piece piston can generally handle. Each piston is designed as a set with a thread plus a stepped section to act as a locator and stop it moving around on the thread. They are torqued correctly before a hole is drilled with a pin that is used in final engine assembly. We got to see that final assembly process inside the HKS engine development room. They first need to be unscrewed. The pistons are preheated to a set temperature, placed in a jig, and first unscrewed so that the conrod and gudgeon pin can be installed into the lower piece, which in this case uses a larger 22mm pin. It goes back into the jig and is screwed on until the holes line up using a special tool, and then the pin goes in. After that, the engine is assembled as per normal at HKS. These crate motors also contain an exclusive nitride steel crankshaft that is ion plasma treated, as well as dedicated I-beam connecting rods designed for increased torque. The bottom end uses ACL bearings, an HKS oil pump, and ATI balancer. The block is prepped with modifications to water galleries and head stud holes to reduce cracking. The head is ported and has upgraded beryllium seats, 1mm oversized exhaust valves, HKS valve springs, HKS head gasket, and the HKS Step Pro V-Cam system with 264-degree inlet cam and 280-degree exhaust cams. On the outside, there's an HKS 36-2 trigger kit, HKS Superfire Racing Coil Pro Kit, HKS adjustable exhaust cam gear, HKS timing belt, and HKS cam covers. Displacement is 2,996cc with 8.7:1 compression, and they've stated a max RPM of 9,000. You can buy this crate motor ready to go, saving a lot of time on machine shop and engine building wait time. For the HKS, they chose their GT7095 turbocharger. This uses the Garrett G40 1150 Supercore. The 3-litre capacity will spin this up and have the ability to make plenty of grunt. So can't wait to see this thing in action once testing begins. It sits on an HKS exhaust manifold with HKS external wastegate and an HKS Super Turbo muffler exhaust system. There's an HKS R-Type 100mm intercooler with custom piping, HKS Super Powerflow filter, and an HKS S-Type oil cooler. The HKS fuel rail uses twin HKS fuel pressure regulators set up with a large single entry and twin outlet from the rail. Why was it done this way? The answer is quite simply because it's the only fuel pressure regulator HKS make, and to flow enough fuel and needed to stay on brand, they needed two of them. Larger fuel pumps and injectors are controlled by the latest version of the HKS FCON Pro V. The power target is 900 PS, which is around about 750 wheel horsepower, which is no problem with the GT7095 on an RB30. Testing is set to begin soon, and we can't wait to see the results, and hopefully get to feel them with a drive as well. Hint hint, HKS.